Mm. Good morning and welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's pre-service meditation. I am Eugene Holden. I am one of the practitioners of distinction here at CSLGB, and it is my honor to facilitate this pre-service meditation. So I invite you right now to take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale and hold, hold, and exhale. And now, if you would, gently soften your gaze. And breathing exclusively through the nose, bring your awareness to the breath. Making sure to inhale fully and exhaling completely. Keeping the breath slow, smooth, soft, silent, and sacred. And we breathe. And with each exhale, allow the body to relax even more. Just let it all go. And no matter how slowly you are breathing right now, breathe a little slower. Remember keeping our awareness on the breath. The breath is very important to us, of course, because without the breath, life is a little different. And in addition to that, when we breathe deeply, not only does that deep breath oxygenate the blood, but breathing deeply also helps to exercise the internal organs. And the other thing I love about the breath is that it always reminds me that there's only this moment. You see, we cannot take a breath for 2 minutes from now, nor can we take a breath for 3 minutes ago. We breathe in this moment. And so I would invite you now to bring your awareness to the top of your head. And imagine relaxation flowing down the body like water flowing down the mountain. Where now this flow of relaxation is going through the face where the jaw is relaxed. Relax the eyelids even more as you soften your gaze. See if you can feel the skin of your face relax. Let it go. Feel the relaxation as it flows down the neck and throat. Now that relaxation flows through the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to go loose and limp. Loose and limp. Let it go. There's nothing to carry. Feel how that relaxation flows down the back, where the upper back is now relaxed. The middle back is relaxed. And the lower back is relaxed. And we breathe. Bringing our awareness once again back to the shoulders, letting go of any and all tension that may be held there. And we now feel the relaxation as it flows down the front of the body where the chest is relaxed. Relax the solar plexus. And now relax the abdomen. Let it go. And we breathe. Now feel how the relaxation flows through the hips, through the groin, down the thighs, through the knees, through the shins and the calves, down the insteps of the feet, the tops of the feet, all the way to the tips of the toes. And now relax the soles of the feet. And yes, we breathe. And now with your mind's eye, scan the body temple and become aware of any tension, if there is any. Become aware of any tension within the body temple. And if there is, bring your awareness to where that tension is and breathe into that tension. And on the exhale, just let the tension go. Let it go. There's no need to hang on to it. Nice. Nice. And once again, we bring our awareness to the breath, being aware of how it enters the body, how it fills up the torso, and how it exits the body. Just be aware of the breathing. For truly the breath is the breath of life. And we set the intention to be more aware of our breath throughout the day, every day, making sure to breathe deeply and fully. And now we allow the breath to guide us into the inner sanctum, the throne room of the heart, the Holy of Holies. This is where we find our intuition, our imagination, our memories. And this is the gateway to our higher power, the love intelligence that dwells within us. And as we visit this inner sanctum, we become aware of a presence, a light being, so to speak. And this presence feels very familiar simply because it is you. It is your higher consciousness. This is that part of you that knows what it needs to know, knows everything that you need to know when you need to know it. It knows how to do what it is that you need to do and when you are to do it. It is connected to the infinite intelligence that governs the universe. For this is who we are. And we breathe. And so we are invited to sit a spell with this presence, not wanting anything in particular. There's no agenda. We're just sitting in the presence of the presence, allowing whatever it wants to give us, say to us, express to us. We are just here in open receptivity. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. And if the mind starts to drift off to other things, activities of the upcoming day, that's okay. Just simply and lovingly bring your awareness back to this moment, back to this stillness of the peace. And so now we gratefully start to bring ourselves back as we give thanks for sitting in this holy communion with our higher self. And we gently start to bring ourselves back to this realm, becoming again aware of the room, the vibration in the room, becoming aware once again of the body temple, maybe even wiggling the toes, connecting once again to the breath, giving thanks for the breath. And so it is with this breath that I speak this word, recognizing that there is an infinite intelligence that is at the very center of all of life. Though it may be called by different names, I choose to call it God. Recognizing that it is the infinite intelligence from which all things are created. Recognizing that it is everywhere present, I know that right where I am, God is. As I know this to be the truth of my life, this is the truth of everyone who is tuning in today with this in this pre-service meditation. Right here, right now, God is, we are. And so I give thanks for this time well spent. And I know that as we prepare for the service, that we continue to live from this vibration of peace, of grace, of serenity. So this concludes this morning's pre-service meditation. Peace and abundant blessings.
Leaning forward in my seat, leaning forward in my seat. I'm a rainbow in the sky, I'm a rainbow in the sky. Leaning forward in my seat, leaning forward in my seat. I'm a rainbow in the sky, I'm a rainbow in the sky. And I wake up with the sound of the thunder and the wind. And I walk out in the rain. And I let myself relax into who I am. And I'm freed of my pain. Leaning forward in my seat, leaning forward in my seat. I'm a rainbow in the sky. I'm a rainbow in the sky. And I wake up with the sound of the thunder and the wind. And I walk out in the rain. And I let myself relax into who I am. And I'm freed of my pain. Leaning forward in my seat. Leaning forward in my seat. I'm a rainbow in the sky. I'm a rainbow in the sky. I'm a rainbow in the sky. I'm a rainbow in the sky.
Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am your host, Tracy Rhymes. Our speaker is our spiritual director, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Our musician is Sky Nelson. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Eugene D. Holden. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Ashlee Goldman and Sarah Steer. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you for your service. At CSLGB, every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. Eugene D. Holden has been a student of the science of mind and spirit for over 30 years and has been a licensed religious science practitioner for 15 years. For 10 years, he served the World Ministry of Prayer at the CSL Home Office. Eugene also served as Home Office liaison to the Diversity Commission, serving as trainer and facilitator. He has been a well-loved contributor to the Science of Mind magazine for over 13 years, inspiring lives around the world. Eugene allows vision to guide him. It is prayer that fuels him. He is deeply committed to his purpose of joyfully assisting others in remembering who and what they truly are, divine beings of light. Eugene believes that together we can reveal the kingdom of heaven right here on earth. What is heaven? Heaven is ever expanding good.
Good morning once again. Man, let's pray. And so once again, we take a nice deep breath together, recognizing that the breath that I breathe and the breath that you breathe is the breath of the infinite. No matter where we are, it is the one breath of the divine. And so I use propel this word, speaking this word, recognizing first and foremost that God is all there is. Yes, I am aware that it is known by different names. Sometimes it is known as God. Sometimes it is known as Krishna or Allah or Yahweh. It doesn't matter what we call it. What matters is that we call it forth into our conscious awareness, recognizing that it is at the very center of all of life, whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere, meaning that there is nothing that exists outside of the infinite presence of God. For truly God is all that there is. It is the source of the Alpha. It is the source of the Omega. It is the source of everything in between that. It is the nature of this infinite intelligence to permeate and to penetrate and to fill the interspaces of the universe, meaning that the space within the space between the space is filled with the vibrancy of pure spirit. It is in my awareness of the omnipresence of God that I speak this word, recognizing that right where I am, God is. There's no place I can go where God is not. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, I know this to be the truth of each individualized expression of the ones tuning in today, right here, right now. God is, we are. And so it is in my awareness of our oneness in God that I speak this word for this day, for this time, for this moment. For I know that this moment is already blessed. Even before we came together, this was already done. So we are vibrating on answered prayer. We are living through and as answered prayer. And so I bless this time together. I know that each and every individual who was helping to bring this service to the world is absolutely blessed. And so I bless the interpreters, Ashlee and Sarah. I bless the musician. I bless the Tracy, who is always the hostess of the mostest, not with the mostest, but of the mostest. And then, of course, I bless our spiritual leader, the Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, who always continues to surrender to be the vehicle and to be the vessel and to be the instrument of Spirit as he gives Spirit's lesson through him, and that we open up our hearts and our souls and we catch the vision, we catch the lesson, we catch the word. As they say, the early bird catches the word. And so we are here to catch that word and then allow that word to guide us to fulfill our vision, to fulfill our lives. For simply, we are here for God. So for this and for so much more than these words can ever convey, I remain forever grateful and thankful. It is from this space of gratitude that I release my word into the beautiful and dynamic activity of love and law. I know that as I release my word into the law cannot help itself. It must return these words unto us completely fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we, number one, accept that it is fulfilled. And then number two, we allow it to be done because it is done well. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. Amen.
The Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore's community, honors the world's religions. One tree, many branches. One mountain, many paths. One world, many religions and spiritual traditions. With the lighting of these candles on the first Sunday of each month, we not only honor each person on their select path, but we also bless them and recognize the light, the love, and the life-affirming nature of Spirit as it shows itself in each path, in each practice, and in each person.
Study, excuse me. Study, learn, and grow with Science of Mind and Spirit and the Thursday night study groups. Visit cslgreaterbaltimore.org to learn how to participate, enroll in the discovery class, and know, would help if I was on the correct slide, what Reverend Dr. Ray is teaching in the larger CSL community and beyond. The Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore quarterly magazine is now available. To get your digital copy today, visit cslgreaterbaltimore.com and go to the Events and Media page. For a full list of news and events and ways you can volunteer to serve, go to our website, cslgreaterbaltimore.com/events. You have 13 weeks to be inspired and moved to action and receive your daily inspirations from Reverend Dr. Ray. Type JOIN to 833-663-9021. The final daily text and voicemail will be on December 31st, 2022. It is with great sadness that I inform our community that as of December the 31st, Reverend Ray will no longer be the senior minister of the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. We will be having a healing gathering to have a Q&A conversation to answer your questions and concerns regarding this transition and what that means for this community. Here at CSLGB, we live as answered prayer because prayer works. That's right, prayer works. We as a community continue to treat and move our feet knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Sky Nelson Isaacs is a physicist, musician, and author of 2 books, Leap to Wholeness, How the World is Programmed to Help Us Grow, Heal and Adapt, and Living in Flow, The Science of Synchronicity and How Your Choices Shape Your World. Having learned mindfulness practices from a young age and also obtained a master's degree in physics, he bridges worlds with his original research on time, space, quantum mechanics, and synchronicity. To find out more about the monthly Living in Flow, Synchronicity and Wholeness Workshop, and Sky's other work, visit synchronicityinstitute.com. I give you Sky.
I'm not held back by anybody's view of me. I'm not held back by thoughts of insecurity. I'm not held back by opinions that I don't believe. And I will find the love I seek. I won't give up. I won't back down. I'll take it on. won't give up. I'll stand my ground, 'cause in my love I'm not held back. I won't give up when I see impossibility. I'm not constrained by the limitations others see. I've got more strength than the problems that are thrown at me. And I will not accept defeat. I won't give up. I won't back down. I'll take it on. I'm not held back. I won't give up. I'll stand my ground, 'cause in my love I'm not held back. This is my day. I'm not held back. Brush fear away. I'm not held back. I'll give it everything I have. No one else can tell me who I am. 'Cause I won't give up. I won't back down. I'll take it on. I'm not held back. I won't give up. I'll stand my ground. And in my love I'm not held back. I'll take it on. 'Cause in my love I'm not held back.
Thank you, Sky. That was beautiful. Eugene returns to lead us in a spiritual practice.
Hello, once again, spiritual practice. And here's the thing, right? It's a practice. So this year's theme, as you know, is living everyday wonder. Living everyday wonder, living in everyday wonder. And some of you have heard me say this. It's a quote by Rumi that says, if we're not in awe, we're not paying attention. Okay, so we're going to put that aside for now. And today's theme or today's topic is failing forward. Failing forward. One of the things that I want to have us really understand is that we have been given and been imbued with some pretty dynamic gifts. And one of the main gifts that I love, one of the gifts that I love the most is our gift of choice. We get to choose what we wear. We get to choose what we eat. We get to choose the songs that we like to listen to. But more importantly than that, we get to choose the way we think. This is where the practice comes in. Is we want to be aware of the thoughts that we choose. As it is said by Dr. Holmes, change your thinking, change your life, which is nothing new. There's a scriptural passage that says, do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. In other words, have a new thought. It is our thinking that creates our lives. So when we have experiences where we seem to fail, inevitably failure happens if we're living life, right? Show me a person who doesn't fail. I'll show you someone who's not trying anything new, right? And it's our nature to try things new. It is our nature to create. So when we are trying this new idea and we're going forth, experimenting and experiencing things, and we come up against what the world may call failure, we get to choose how we look at that. I've seen different numbers on this where Thomas Edison it was said that, Mr. Edison, you have failed, 600 times. I've heard 1,000. I've heard, the numbers change. But I'm going to use the 600. Mr. Edison, you have failed 600 times in trying to invent the light bulb. And he says, no, I didn't fail. I just found 600 ways that it didn't work. So what Mr. Edison did, he chose to take what seemed to be a failure and used it for his success. So the practice is this. Do not be afraid to fail. If you're going to fail, so fail forward, fail with the thought, the conscious awareness of using whatever that seeming failure was to move you forward. It is all a choice. So practice choosing to fail forward. Don't beat yourself up. Celebrate it. Go, okay, that didn't work. So where do we go from here? So remember, choose to fail forward. Don't fall back. We don't want to fall back on anything. We want to keep moving forward. That is the practice for today, is choose how you want to live your life. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Eugene. I heard you. Whew. Okay. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is an ordained Centers for Spiritual Living minister serving the Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community as our spiritual director. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and transfiguration, he has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man and visionary New Thought leader who makes complex metaphysical concepts readily understandable and applicable. His mission is to live, move, and be an active member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, and emancipate people and communities to awaken and empower themselves. ACTIVE is an acronym that stands for authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, empowered. And he continues to live his bliss as a teacher, minister, author, workshop and seminar facilitator, visual artist, ASL interpreter, and ASL performing artist, mentor, father, grandfather, and more. I give you Reverend Dr. Ray.
Good morning, everyone. How's it going today? So I just want to let you know that during our pre-service conferencing of, during the sound check and all of that stuff, I just want to let you know that Ashlee and Sarah and Tracy and Sky and Eugene were acting up this morning. I just feel like I need to let you all know that they're not on their best behavior today. I just want to let you know. All right, folks. So good morning. So yeah, we're talking about this whole idea of failing to fail and failure, and yet what it means for us in this concept of new thought, specifically science of mind and spirit. What does it mean for us to fail forward? Now, I'm not going to read all of this because I got some other stuff that I want to go through. Starting off with growing up, and you would see one of these, what typically came with it? Meaning, what was the emotional energy, the thoughts that came with this symbol? Because it's what it is. It's a symbol. It's a letter, which is made up of a series of lines within a circle, which is a line. It's a symbol that represents a certain concept. And this concept would cause a great variety of emotional responses. From parents, the emotional response might be anger, disappointment, abuse. It depends. For the one receiving, the one at the receptive end of the anger, the abuse, how could you? Why? What, are you not studying enough? Right? There's the other end of, but it's a symbol. But what does that symbol represent? What does it cause us to think about ourselves or about others when this symbol comes into play? So pause and breathe, because in one way, shape, or form, all of us have had an experience with this. And it may not necessarily be this particular F as a letter grade. For some, getting a C on a test was the same as getting an F. I'm a straight A student. I don't do B's. A B minus is as good as a C, and a C is failure in my book. Oh, if I brought home a B, my mother would beat my... Follow what I'm saying. Why, though? Could it be that in some way of the colonization of theology and religion, we equate failure with hell and success with heaven? I mean, think about the Judeo-Christian teaching. If you do what you are supposed to do and follow the Bible, and then you'll succeed, meaning you'll get into heaven. But if you don't, if you do this, that, and the other, you will go to hell. You have failed. Could it be partly that that concept has found its way into the very consciousness of our educational system, our judicial system, our theology, our churches? Has it found its way into New Thought? Breathe. So for a moment, let's dive in and find out, what does it even mean to fail? As a verb, fail means to be unsuccessful in achieving one's goal. You know, he failed in his attempt to win a gold medal. 2, to neglect to do something. The firm failed to give adequate risk warnings. Okay, I got that. I got that. Or are we on the same page? As a noun, it is a grade that is not, quote unquote, high enough to pass a test or an examination. We good on this, right? And yet, where's the other aspects of fail? The dictionary gives us that, but where's the other more empowering, life-affirming energy of, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Ernest Holmes says, we have within us a power that is greater than anything we shall ever contact in the outer, a power that can overcome every obstacle in our life. We have within us a power, okay, that can overcome every obstacle in our life. But what are we invited to do? We are invited to access, as Eugene said, to practice, to make access, to make use of, to fail epically. Yeah, oh yeah, I hear y'all right now. I hear you. Well, what do you mean fail epically? By any chance, then feel free to type in the chat if you know who this is. Who is this gentleman who did his own stunts in many films in China, who had his own stunt company, may still have it, I don't know, was injured on many a stunt? Tracy typed it in on Facebook. Yes, Jackie Chan, which many of you may know from the film The Karate Kid, which they were actually doing kung fu, or wushu. But anyway, he was willing to fail. He knew that there's the possibility of being injured during stunts, and yet. And when one is studying martial arts, you don't immediately jump up, grab a white belt, do one kick, boom, got a black belt. There's lots and lots of failure, but is it failure or is it practice along the way? Because as Eugene said, that is our invitation to practice. Now, this word, kung fu, which is more typically pronounced gong fu, is actually a term that is made up of 2 separate characters. The first, gong, which means skillful work, training, to be endeavored in, committed to one's training. And the second, fu, which means the time one spends on that training and endeavor. So gung fu technically means the time that you invest, the time that you spend, the time that you engage in your training, your practice. And in so doing, there are going to be times where, I don't feel like getting up and, doing my push-ups today. I don't feel like getting up and doing, I really don't want to pray. I'm doing this workshop thing and I don't want to open in prayer, or, there are going to be times. There are going to be times when, the hostess as the mostess is saying synchronicity, but she will pronounce it synchronicity. Oh, and she's quiet. I'm messing with her and she's quiet. Oh, she must have walked away. But the idea is that comes with the territory. Part of the practice is the ability, she said, I walked away. Part of the practice, part of the thing, part of the training is to engage in it and know that even when there are mistakes, it doesn't change you being whole, perfect, and complete. So when we are truly practicing science of mind and spirit, are we not practicing science of mind and spirit kung fu? Because we are investing our energy, we are aligning, we are being grounded in practice and principle of what is the truth of our being. And in order to do so effectively, we have to recognize that there are going to be times where we are going to, quote unquote, fail. We are going to, quote unquote, not do it as well as we would have liked to. And yet we do it anyway. Eugene gave the example of, what's his name with the light bulb, Edison and the light bulb. Oh man, I can't get this light bulb to work. And he didn't say, I'm going back to candles. I know I can get the candle to. Why won't my lighter work? Because lighters haven't been invented yet? Oh, give me a match. Those haven't been invented yet either, right? But there's this idea of, okay, so I don't have it this time around. Do it again. I don't have it this time around. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Wax on, wax off. Do it again. Wax on. Do it again. Pray again. Meditate again. Journal again. Forgive again and again and again, and master it. Holmes says, the mind is a magnet, and we attract that with which we identify the self. I'm just pausing so we can take that in. The mind is a magnet. In other words, your mental equivalent not only demonstrates where you are in consciousness and what you believe, but it also makes you a resonant energy to what it is you believe. Now, granted, there are things out there that we did not attract, but that does not change the matter of, but what am I attracting? What am I putting into the energetic law of cause and effect? What am I using my mind, my mental equivalent, to manifest and demonstrate? Because I do get to choose. I do get to choose. So here's another guy. I was going to take his name off and see if anybody could recognize him just from the torso down. Bruce Lee said, hush up, Tracy. Tracy, stop talking during service. So Bruce Lee said, don't fear failure. Well, actually, let's do the full quote. Don't fear failure. Don't fear failure. Not failure, but low aim is the crime. Low aim, to have the expectation of, well, I'm not good enough. I never will be. I don't deserve. And to make that your new normal. That's the quote unquote crime. In great attempts, it is glorious even to fail. In great living, it is glorious to even fail. Glorious to fail. Are we willing to epically fail, to go all out? To go all out. Why? I mean, if you're going to go into the Olympics, then why not gymnastic yourself across that? Why not go for it? If you're going to pole vault, then why not with all that you have? If you're going to sprint. If you're going to ski. For those of us who may remember, I can't remember the name of the show, Wide World of Sports. And there was the one scene, dude, high jump, ski jump, and the agony of defeat. But was that skier, were they defeated? No. Now, they may choose to. We are bound by nothing except belief. They may choose to bind themselves to the belief that since I crashed, it means I failed and I am defeated. Or they could get up and say, yeah, I don't get the medal, but I gave it my all. I did my best. And in doing my best, I succeeded nonetheless. Even though my goal was a medal, gold, silver, bronze, even though that was my intention to win that, I did my best. I'm living my life on my terms. And even though, because it comes with the sport, If everyone could win, would we watch football? Both teams won. Tracy's New York Giants and the Red Sox. It's two different sports, Ray. Today, both of them win. Both of them touchdowns. Both of them get the Super Bowl. Yay! Rings for everybody. You get a ring, and you get a ring, and you. No one would watch tennis. No one would watch baseball. Both teams win. Chess. Checkmate, checkmate. Oh, so we both win. Yay. What would be the point in watching that? So part of the thrill that comes with it is knowing that there's going to be, quote unquote, a winner and a loser. But even the loser isn't a loser if they gave it their all. They were convicted, they were committed, and they are living their best life. Then even in the, I may not have won the game, but I am winning at life because I am willing to go all in. I am willing to fail epically. I don't second guess myself. I don't play small. So Ernest Holmes goes on to say, know that nothing can hinder you but yourself. If you believe you can, you can. You hear that? If you believe you can, you can. Yes, he is correct. And yet there is still the collective consciousness that must be addressed. Because let's go back a second. Know that nothing can hinder you but yourself. And yet, by police order, I, as a Black man, am hindered from being in that waiting room. But that does not mean that I need to choose the consciousness that says that means I am less than. Breathe. There may be something called systemic racism and segregation that hinders me from being able to drink at whatever fountain I desire to drink at. And yet, I need not embody that consciousness that says you cannot go to whatever school you want to go to. And yet, when I understand, when she understands, when they understand that there is a power that is not only within, but a power that is incarnating itself as them, then you are able to stand up to hatred and racism and the enmity of people who are bound by a system that says you going here is illegal. See, sometimes we must fail to follow the laws of an unjust system in order to create a system that is equitable and just. Because if I succeed in following the laws, then the laws don't change. Sometimes we must fail to follow the systemic system. Often we must fail to follow the status quo that says this is how it is, this is how it has always been, this is how it will always be. Often we must fail to follow that system in order to change the system. Be that system apartheid in South Africa, be that system the Nazi regime, be that system Bloody Sunday when the people were marching across the Pettus Bridge, be that the lynching of Emmett Till or anyone. If we choose to fail to follow the system, see, breathe. Often we must fail to agree with that system in order to effectively succeed at living a life in a world that works for all. See, failing is not the enemy. Failing is the concept that we have made to mean this one particular thing. And yet, I can fail to follow Hitler. I can fail to follow systemic racism, systemic homophobia. I can choose to fail to follow that system. I can fail epically to follow the status quo to create a world that works for all. Breathe. Know that because you are the universe incarnating, there is no one and there is nothing that can permanently prevent you from living life on your terms once you are convicted and live your conviction. Think about that. Because there are moments, there are people right now working to pass laws to make it a national ban so women cannot have the health care that they desire and deserve, to nationally ban abortion, etc., to give free rein for lack of gun control so that anyone who wants a gun can. There's a lot of stuff going on so that transgender children do not get medical care because you were born this, you're going to stay this because it's against the laws of God and the Bible and what we say. Yeah, just because they say, just because they write those laws doesn't mean we are bound and must follow them. See, there is a higher spiritual authority that is incarnating itself as you, that is love itself. And it says that our spiritual imperative is to create equity and justice for all people, not just those that look like us, that sound like us, that eat like us, whose bodies look like us, look like ours, who are exactly identical in that which God is incarnating itself in, through, and as everything, this great, diverse cosmos. And all of it is divine. So just because someone wants to tell you you're a woman, you're gay, you're this, you're that, or the other, does not mean they get to permanently. There may be laws in place today, but it does not mean they get to permanently subjugate, objectify, eroticize, or any other things that they may choose to do to you, to us, about us, regarding us. When we are convicted and live our conviction, when we are practicing Gong Fu as our way of life, then the way of life changes. So we are invited to fail forward strategically. Identify our evaluation, our motivation, our inspiration. What is our plan? What is our purpose? And then act accordingly. So yes, fail. By all means, fail epically, but fail forward. Fail in the name of, or for the purpose of, freedom. Fail for the purpose of engaging in spiritual alchemy. Fail to engage in and live from this idea and this energy of inspired imagination, because the imagination is what creates. I mean, let's pause for a moment and think about, I did it as a daily text yesterday or the day before yesterday, where George Bernard Shaw said something to the effect of, the people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look out and they expect certain circumstances. And when those circumstances, when those events do not happen, they make them happen. They use inspired imagination to see a world that works for all. They then use science of mind and spirit as their spiritual alchemy to manifest it, to create emancipation, liberty, and freedom for all. In other words, we use our spiritual practice to allow life to live itself fully, powerfully, audaciously. Today we get to choose to fail, and fail well. We have a long list of other avatars, bodhisattvas, who have demonstrated how to fail epically and change culture, change policy, change the very tapestry of the planet itself. Are we willing to live our lives in such a convicted manner that we take up the banner as well, that we are willing to live our lives as they have demonstrated we can. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a part of success. Are we willing to fail epically? Are we willing to fail forward? Are we willing to fail into our evolution? Are we willing to fail and fail and fail, recognizing that each brick of our failure is building the divine pyramid of our success? Fail 600 times, fail 9,000 times, fail 1,000,000 times if that failure brings about a world that works for all, if that failure brings about health and well-being, if that failure brings equity and justice to all. Fail by all means. Fail. Fail in the way that artists fail, making mistakes in clay, composers with notes, chefs with ingredients. Faithfully, actively in life. Be faithfully, actively in life. Don't be a bystander. Be in life, recognizing that there is only one life, and that life is God, and that life is joy itself. That life is love itself. That life is all of the universe itself, and that life is your life now. Be in it faithfully. Be in it actively. Be in it. Practice it. Breathe. So, speaking of this idea of failing, there was a show on Netflix where this gentleman, Amari, was teaching people how to be chocolatiers. So they are making these great desserts using chocolate and other, cakes and stuff, but predominantly chocolate. So all of those things you see on the counter are made out of chocolate. Now, this gentleman is a master chocolatier, meaning he uses chocolate to sculpt and craft. But how many times do you think he failed at putting feathers on this phoenix before he could do so masterfully? This is his gong fu. He is dedicating, convicted of time, talent, treasure, energy, focus, alignment, synchronicity, oneness of the person and the practice mold into one. There is no Ray does Kung Fu. There is only Kung Fu doing itself as Ray. There is no Ray and God, Eugene and God, Sky and God. There is only that which is the infinite universe expressing, living, moving, and having its beingness as Sky. So Sky isn't even really the one singing, performing. It is the universe as him. Eugene isn't simply doing a spiritual practice. It is the universe demonstrating spiritual practice as Eugene, inviting us into alignment with. For that which is, as Ernest Holmes said, whatever is true about God is true about you. Are you ready and willing to practice that, to live that, to embody that? We get to choose. And we get to choose moment by moment, how are we going to step into this with greater and greater and greater and greater levels of mastery, recognizing that I'm still going to occasionally burn something. Did you just laugh? Laughing is not a part of service, Tracy. What did she just laugh at me? Anyway, I don't even hear you right now. Reverend Ray says, failure is a part of the life experience. And all have failed, and all of us will fail in various ways. None of us came out of the womb adding 2 + 2 divided by A equal. None of us came out knowing algebra. Well, there might be 1 or 2 people who did, but nonetheless, we all fail at, I remember this time Tracy was working on making a belt. She said, watch it. Anyway, we all have failed. We all will fail. We learn to walk and we fail. Literally fell down, F-E-L-L. We failed at walking until one day it was like, oh, I got this. I'm up. I'm mobile. And those who were not able to be mobile via their legs were able at some point to be mobile via a wheelchair. But it's practice. It's practice. We are all going to, at some point or another, fail in a variety of ways. Our invitation is to strategically invite, to strategically nurture, to strategically welcome the failures, recognizing that in so doing, we rise and rise and rise anew. For that is what it means to be open at the top. Breathe. This week's practice. Answer these questions. Do you believe in yourself? And I mean really believe in yourself as an infinite, powerful being. Do you believe in yourself? Do you have clear life goals? Not just career goals, life goals. What do you want to be, do, have in this thing called life? Are you able to, quote unquote, bounce back from disappointment? I didn't get the gold medal. I didn't even get the bronze. I ran the marathon through New York City and there were 7,000 of us and I came in the 7,000th. Literally, I was the last one to cross the ribbon. I'm disappointed. How do you bounce back from that? How do you heal from that? How do you still say, and there's another marathon tomorrow or next week, and I'm going to run, and I'm going to place at least 6,999. Or maybe, hell, I'll come in 7,000th again. I don't care. I'm going to run anyway. There's a way to bounce back. Are you willing to persist, to practice, to persist, to practice, to persist, to insist based upon your conviction that failure does not define me based upon your concept of it, based upon this mass concept of it? You do not get to determine what fountain I will drink at because of the color of my skin. You will not determine. No. This is not that life that I am choosing to live, for I understand and recognize what I am as an individualized expression of that which is all that is. And nothing will stop God when God is on the move. Are you willing to persist? Are you willing to live, move, and have your beingness as that? What has failure meant to you over the years? It may have changed. When do you vividly remember that concept? Failure, failing, being considered a bad thing. Was there some turning point where you're like, look, Mom, I got an F. It means fun. No, it doesn't. Well, what does it mean? It means you're on punishment. But why? Because you're not doing your homework, you're not studying, you're not, but I'm doing my best, and your best isn't good enough. You need to do better. Excuse me, pause. How does one do better than the best that they are doing in the moment? If I am running my fastest and you tell me that I need to run faster, but I'm already running my fastest because my lung just fell out of my body, I'm running so fast and can't breathe, but you want me to run faster? That is a paradox that is illogical. That means you are judging me. I will not live my life based upon your judgments of me. But do you remember when that idea came into play? And then lastly, have a conversation with 4 people about what it means and how you can strategically plan your failures wisely Plan your failures wisely and in alignment with your divinity. Chat with some folks about that. Breathe. This week's declaration, our affirmation, I will say it first, and if you feel in alignment with it, say it with me on the second go round. The strength of the Spirit which incarnates as me gives me all I need to persevere and live successfully. Breathe. Together. The strength of the Spirit which incarnates as me gives me all I need to persevere and live successfully, effectively, as the very embodiment of my spiritual magnificence. I am that I am. Breathe. Breathe as we avail our hearts, our minds, our very aura to the energy of another powerful, potent, present individual that we here at CSL Greater Baltimore have grown to love. Like ever since Sky first performed here, it was like, oh man, when's he coming back? Oh man, we love this guy. I have loved this man since Jim and I interviewed him for Jim's podcast and have read his books and like, oh man, this, what in the, so being able to call this man friend and brother is a pleasure and a blessing for me. And recognizing that this blessing of this divine incarnation of the one right here, right now, blessing this community. What else is there to say other than we are grateful, we are blessed, and we love you, Sky.
Oh, wow. What a message this morning. I am so moved to step into my failure and so blessed to be part of this community. This song is about flying. The history of flying takes me back to tender years when we were young at heart. Young at heart. I wasn't afraid of dying, but my breath burned with impatience just to reach the start, the starting line. I could feel the air rushing through my hair, and I didn't care what destination called. It's a thing of beauty. If you let it move you, you may feel like you have no control. When you look beneath you, feel the sky support you. Empty air can lift a happy soul. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. So many things can happen to upset our sense of balance as we try to grow. Try to grow. I lifted up my eyes above the struggle and the fight to see where I could go. Where can we go? I can feel the air rushing through my hair. I don't really care what destination calls. It's a thing of beauty. If you let it move you, you may feel like you have no control. When you look beneath you, you feel the sky support you. Empty air can lift a happy soul. Da 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 da, da 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 da. When I try to catch the world, it just keeps spinning, and the ground beneath my feet is prone to shifting. I let the empty space within me find its way all around. Lift off the ground. It's a thing of beauty. If you let it move you, you may feel like you have no control. when you look beneath you and feel the sky support you, empty air can lift a happy soul. Empty air can lift a happy soul.
Yes. Amen. I mean, I don't have the hair for it, but nonetheless, because Sky got more than enough hair to cover me, so I'm good. I'm good. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Sky. Yes, much love and appreciation. Oh man, come on now. Share in the chat how much you love and appreciate what Sky has offered us this morning, from that rainbow in the first song all the way to, come on now, how often do you get to listen to somebody not just play a ukulele and sing, but to do so masterfully? Like, do you recognize what kind of gift that is? Come on now. Yes. Thank you, Sky.
Thank you
as
so much,
always.
Dr. Ray.
Thank you. So let us breathe. Let us breathe in all this amazing goodness. Like, really take in from Eugene's opening pre-service meditation all the way through invocation, Tracy's silliness. We had a couple of appearances from Batman, Eugene's in-service spiritual practice, where Eugene reminded us to practice, the amazing musical blessing and gift of Dr. Sky. Come on now. And our amazing and beautiful, talented interpreters who are providing access to our deaf family and friends. Like, does it get any better than this? I mean, come on. Even my amazing family, I don't know if they're still on, but my son, my daughter-in-law, my grandkids, like, they joined in today. Come on now. It doesn't get any better than this. Or does it? Because in my, it's like, okay, right now, this is a 10. But when I am practicing the practice, and I know that by being open at the top, somewhere in the consciousness of the divine, there is a 20, then it does get better than this when I practice. And when we practice. And right now, during service, this is when we get to practice the law of circulation, that divine law that says, as I give where I am spiritually fed, as I give to my beloved spiritual community, that I am helping to foster, to nurture, to craft and create all of these amazing things that this beloved community is doing and desires to do out in the world. Now, if you're new, you may not know that the Prac Corps, our master practitioners of distinction, have, on top of their regular monthly tithes, pledged an additional $50,000. And as of the end of August, that number is $20,095. The community's matching pledge, on top of their regular monthly tithes, $50,000 as well. And as of the end of the month, it's $4,525. And if you are unsure, how do I give, Reverend Ray? How do I donate or tithe? You have, bless you, Tracy, you have four, she just sneezed. You have 4 different ways that you may do so. Postal mail service, PayPal, text to give, or Givelify, which, if you recall, I mentioned that even Tracy is able to successfully use Givelify. WhatsApp is a completely different creature, because Tracy's still trying to figure that one out. We won't go there, though. But anyway, and if you ever want to know more about any of this, you can always reach out to the treasurer, the board of trustees. I invite you to visit the website so you can read more about what it means to tithe, to give, etc. And be mindful that you can always divide a certain portion up. But keep in mind that the purpose of this is, 1, to demonstrate I am offering back where I am spiritually fed, but I am also supporting this business because it is a 501c3. And I know that there are lights to keep on in this new building we are manifesting. There are grounds to be kept by the landscapers. There are classrooms to be cleaned. There are books to be bought. There are right? So understand there are services to provide to others, the Maryland Food Bank, Sisters of the Tea, etc., etc., etc. So I give in order to support all that this community is doing and desires to do. And here at CSL Greater Baltimore, when we declare this declaration of financial wealth and abundance, because we understand that God is all there is, we are declaring not just financial wealth and abundance, but wealth, abundance, prosperity, and opulence in all areas of our lives. In other words, physical health and well-being, the abundance of a body temple that prospers with health and well-being, a mind, an intellect that is abundant, it is quick, it is sharp, I'm witty, and all of I remember names and all of the things that it means to have a clear and healthy and well mind, body, emotions, relationships, finances, spiritual awareness and practices. This, we declare all of this in saying these words. And so if you are in alignment with that, then say with me, I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement, which is practice, and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. Breathe. Breathe and feel all of the joy and the gratitude that comes with this service today, all of the joy and the gratitude that comes in your individual lives, all of the joy and the gratitude that comes in knowing that we have this practice that heals and transforms and elevates our individual lives as well as the collective. So thank you. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your consciousness. Thank you for being a friend. As Tracy, that's going to be in her mind today. She's up there singing. You stop singing. Now is not the time for you to sing, Tracy. You are awesome, everybody. You are awesome. So go out and demonstrate what it means to be an epically awesome, individualized expression of the one who is not afraid to fail, because we fail forward. We fail upward. We fail onward. Breathe. So today after service over in the Zoom room, know that Eugene will be available to do prayer with you, and that you don't need something to be going wrong or bad to get prayer. You can have, like, look, I just hit the mega million. I just got $300 million. And I want Eugene to pray for the effective stewardship of this $300 million. I want Eugene to pray for, I feel really good, but I want to feel even better, right? Like you can pray for this and so much more. So go over to the Zoom room. Once you're in, once Tracy lets you in, type the word prayer into the chat box and Tracy will place you into your own private prayer chapel in Zoom for Eugene to know the truth of, for, and about you. So we anchor in this moment and we breathe. We breathe, recognizing that this thing called our Sunday service, though it comes to an end, the manner in which we go out in the world as service itself continues. The manner in which we demonstrate our mastery and practice of science of mind and spirit, Gong Fu, continues. The manner in which we demonstrate and practice love on earth, joy on earth. The manner in which we not only see the rainbow, but we are the embodiment of that rainbow that Sky spoke of. We are the living embodiment of all of this and so much more. That if I took every word that has ever been written, ever been sung, ever been spoken, and put them all into one container, that still wouldn't be enough to express or explain everything that you are as the divine made flesh. That the infinite potentiality of creation itself is what you have access to. So we close this benediction first by stating the words of Holmes, which I always tweak. There is a power for good in the universe, greater than I am, greater than you are, and you can use it. Ray's remix. There is a power that is infinite goodness itself. It is the universe. And because it is that, it must be you, for it is all there is, which means you can't help but to use it, because that which God is always acting upon itself. Because there is only God, there is only Spirit, there is only this infinite power and presence, and what it is, you are. You are using it now. You are living it now. You are manifesting and breathing, creating, because what it is, you are right now. And so we go out and we practice that awareness with conviction and perseverance right here and right now. Breathe. The law says yes. So joyfully and gratefully, I allow, I surrender, I release, I roll up my sleeves because I've got work to do, as do you. It is done, it is so, and so it is. Much love and appreciation. See you in Zoom.